Hello everyone and welcome to Sunburned Albino ranks every DLC Bugsnax introduced in the free Isle of Bugsnax update from worst to best by taste. I previously ranked the main 100 or so Bugsnax in a different video if you want to check that out first. It was very universally praised. Everybody thought I had an amazing palette. This cozy little update adds 11 new giant Bugsnax to the mix and one secret regular one, but how good would they taste? And would you be able to get over it if they decided to model the food you like after a bug that gives you nightmares? Let's get it started. Number 12, Cheddorb. It's just a cheese ball, according to the wiki, but the coloration makes it look like it rolled through an alleyway of shit. Are we sure this isn't a Reese's Puff? Because if it was, it would unironically be number 1. I've never had a cheese ball, but this representation isn't making a good case for them. Number 11, Deviled Eggler. I actually had one of these recently, so I can tell you with a solid memory-based foundation that deviled eggs are sour and gross. I like eggs, just not ones that have been tainted with demonic evil. They definitely taste like somebody did something bad, namely me by putting one in my mouth. Number 10, Pilobite. I don't like nuts. I'm not allergic, nuts hold no power over me, except to dissuade me from eating anything they're associated with. Peanut butter is an exception, as long as it's not crunchy. Crunchy peanut butter is for weirdos and moms who are in too much of a hurry to read a label carefully. A pie full of nut doesn't sound appetizing, mostly because I'm not a whore. Number 9, Spagheiter. Don't get me wrong, I love spaghetti. Red salty meat sauce with a garlic infusion, thinnest possible noodles. I'll eat that shit 3 days in a row as leftovers because time only improves the flavor. But they took a beautiful thing and turned it into an abomination. If this spaghetti was attached to something that wasn't a disgusting spider, it would be number 1. Why did you ruin this for me? I can never look at spaghetti the same way again. What once was an unbridled source of hungry delight is now cursed with unholy association. Thankfully, the noodles I eat are so thin they probably couldn't support the weight of a blasphemous creature like this, which does make it better. But oh my god, dude, it's got a meatball abdomen. You just know there's hundreds of little spagheiter eggs sheltering in that thing. It's making me sick. Number 8, Klobsteroni. It's just macaroni, right? Get some macaroni and cheese action on it, you'll have yourself every 3-year-old's go-to meal. I don't mind it. I wouldn't choose it, but if it was in front of me, I wouldn't starve myself in protest. Number 7, Millie Mochi. I've never had mochi, but I would like to try it. I looked it up and it said it was basically a rice cake. Does that mean it's still good with soy sauce like sushi, or does the added sweetness mess with that? I'll have to give it a shot at some point, but I'm mildly optimistic. Number 6, Cheddar Rex. It's dumb because when this Bugsnax is in its giant boss form, it's like an entire cheese platter with different sides and options, but shrink it down and it just becomes a tiny knife-legged cheese wheel. If we could just kill it while it's large, we'd have an open buffet for 3 weeks, but since its miniature form is the only way you can eat it, it's disappointing. But cheddar cheese is still good when it's not in a turd ball. Number 5, Celery Sticks. I mean, you gotta have peanut butter in the groove or else you're just eating bamboo shoots like a panda, but celery with peanut butter is a decent way to force yourself to choke down a vegetable. I'll be the first to tell you my diet is horrendous. The only vegetable I can tolerate besides celery is carrots, and even then it's not like I'm eating them with every meal. Let's just say I get my vegetables the way most girls get their period. Number 4, Cappuccino. I'm not a coffee guy. I believe caffeine addiction is debilitating and I would hate to rely on an outside substance as my only morning salvation. I don't need any help to be irritable and grumpy when I wake up. I can do that just fine on my own and don't feel like it needs to be turbocharged by Starbucks withdrawal. That said, cappuccinos always look appealing. The aura of a fresh brew, the little designs some people make with the foam or whatever. I get why it's some people's only reason for getting out of bed. Cappuccino's neat swirls in particular look like I might just give up and end it all if I miss a day. Probably best if I stay sober for now. Number 3, Takeda Masada. I wasn't super clear on what this actually is. The wiki mentions curry, but it looks like an artisanal Hot Pocket. I do want to try curry as well. Never had it before either. I remember there was an episode of Black Butler I watched where they have a curry making competition and Sebastian comes up with curry buns. My mouth watered when I saw those in all their anime glory. I've been trying to expand my food tasting repertoire. For example, I recently introduced myself to baked beans and almost threw up. Number 2, Bunger Royale. A bunger's a bunger, man. I think barbecue bunger was number 2 on my original Bugsnax list with the regular one in the top 10. A Bunger Royale is just more bunger for your buck. I definitely don't like that the only thing that appears to be in it aside from the patty is jack cheese and lettuce, but let me douse it with ketchup after removing the jack cheese and lettuce and it's all good. Number 1, Chocolant. Just simple chocolatey goodness. Straightforward. Honest. Chocolant isn't lying about what it is. A reward for children, an aphrodisiac for women, a deliciously satisfying delight for everyone. Send a box of Chocolants to your lover and you will be blown to within an inch of your life. And the best part is, you'll deserve it. Well, that's going to do it for this Bugsnax ranking. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Sunburned Albino. Watch all my videos in the shower after the hot water runs out, and I'll see you guys next time.